Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. Why is James Gunn perfect for DC Universe? Because he's done it time and time again. Not run an entire universe, but make characters we've never heard of relatable. Whether it's Star-Lord, whether it's Peacemaker, whether it's Vigilante, he's done it. He's proved it, he's achieved it, and he's got the t-shirt. And I mean, there's lots of James Gunn haters out there who don't like him merely because he's the stark opposite of Zack Snyder, but he is holding the DC keys alongside Peter Safran that everyone's not mentioning. And by the way, I'm sure that's brilliant for Peter, not being under the pressure that James is. And I'm sure James loves the pressure and is enjoying what it means to be co-chair of DC Studios. So he's perfect because this is exactly what the new DC Universe live action franchise actually needs. Because you can't run a successful comic book live action franchise on Batman, Superman and Wonder Woman alone. And I love those characters, and Superman's my favourite DC character, my favourite character in fiction ever. But it can't just be about Supes, Bats and Wonder Woman. It can't. They will play an important role in the new universe as they did in the DCEU. No question. But you need to build out this universe with other characters. You know, John Stewart, Plastic Man, Cheetah. You know, there's so many characters. You know, and beyond those characters, we've heard of those characters, but there's other characters I haven't heard of. You haven't heard of, right? He was teasing Mr. Terrific yesterday. Now, some people know all about Mr. Terrific, thanks to the comics and Arrowverse, by the way. But a lot of people would have never heard of Mr. Terrific. And if anyone can create a great new version of Mr. Terrific, it's James Gunn. This is what I'm talking about. These types of characters that we've never heard before are going to be the life and soul of the new DC Universe. They're so important. It's like the world we live in, right? The world's full of important people, film stars, directors, royalty, but they're not the ones who make the real world's heartbeat. It's the grunts, it's the general assistants in the shops. They are the heartbeat of the world we live in. It's the people who keep the electric company, you know, are working in the electric companies, pushing the buttons or whatever they do. Without them, I couldn't be talking to you right now. They wouldn't be powering this laptop or the light shining down on me right now. And James Gunn understands this. So just like in the real world, it's the smaller characters we've never heard of, keeping everything going and chugging along, right? That's what it's like for a cinematic universe. And this is what happened with the MCU. They didn't have the rights for the Fantastic Four or the X-Men or Spidey at first. So what they were doing, they were introducing smaller characters, making them relatable. And that goes beyond James Gunn as well. It's something Kevin Feige did from the very, very beginning. In terms of Iron Man, I'd kind of heard of Iron Man, but I didn't know much about him. I didn't know he was Tony Stark or anything like that. So these things are important. So I hear people say to me, yeah, but they're grade Z characters, they're grade D characters. No. I don't grade characters, and neither does James Gunn. He will develop these characters that we've never heard of, and he will make them relatable, and he'll make them part of our everyday lives. He'll make us relate to them and care for them. And this is why he is perfect for DC, because he loves the underdog, and he likes creating a situation where the underdog kind of may seem like a bad person, maybe an anti-hero or something like that, or someone you wouldn't necessarily see as a hero. But James will make them relatable. And this is why he is so important. He will build out this universe. Now, we heard yesterday that from David Zaslav himself, the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, that James Gunn and Peter Safran's Bible is almost complete. Now, either before or after you see this video, probably after, I'm going to go live, because as I record this video, I'm going to do about 5 minutes of this video, then go live and talk about what went wrong with the DCEU. So you've probably seen that already. Yes, you have seen that already. I'm even getting confused. So we'll get into that. And this is the difference between the DCEU and the DCU. Already we know they're working on a Bible. There was never a Bible for the DC Extended Universe. They were fucking making it up as they went along. And this is why they failed. 3 or 4 different people leading it at different times. The left hand didn't know what the right hand was doing. The left hand didn't like what the right hand was doing. It was a mess. Already you have 2 men working who understand the production side in Peter Safran and in James Gunn, who understands the comics and is a writer-director. This is perfect. It's actually something the MCU don't have, but Feige is a producer. He's always been a producer and he understands how to produce movies. It's not about producing good movies necessarily. It's about being the next puzzle piece in a franchise. Because it's like making a television series, right? A continuing strand. And Feige is very good at this. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Gunn will be as, proficient at that. But as I say, his strengths are taking characters and making them characters. Whether that means they're still exactly the same as they were in the comics is not important. As we saw from Vigilante. Now, Vigilante is great in the comics. You could have copy and pasted him. But James decided to make him obviously insane, a psychopath, but make him likable and funny at the same time. That's a very hard thing to be able to do. And James is able to do that. And this is why James is perfect for DC. He can build this universe out with characters we've never heard of before. But in terms of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, and all of them, he can mix them into this mix as well. So it's about having all these variety of characters we haven't heard of before and the ones that we love and adore already that, of course, we have heard of before. So it's not about basically saying we don't need Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. It's not about that. And if any media person or, propaganda merchant or hot taker, fanboy or girl out there says that, they are talking shit. It's not about that. It's intermingling the iconic with the not so iconic or the ones you haven't heard of. Because James Gunn and the MCU have already made uniconic characters iconic on the big and small screen. And so this is why James Gunn's here. And also, it's about creating a DC universe with family movies, R-rated movies, giving you the variety, actually, also, that the MCU hasn't got. So in my belief, we have the right people involved in this. They're planning things. And people are saying, oh my God, they're rushing it. They've only been there 2 weeks and they've almost completed their Bible. Nobody listens to me, so I don't know why I bother. But James Gunn and Peter Safran have been working on their DC Universe Bible, I think, for about 5 or 6 months. Because this decision was probably taken just as David Zaslav came in, or just before he came in, because Zaslav was planning his moves. Even before he came into the company, as soon as he knew there was going to be a merger, the plans were being made. This guy is like a master chess player. This is why Ann Sarnoff was booted out the WB building even as he was coming in. So this guy has been planning well ahead, moving to Hollywood even before the merger was done, talking to elite people within the Hollywood industry so he could learn from them because his experience in entertainment isn't scripted. So instead of being arrogant and saying, oh, I can do this, he spoke to Alan Horn, made him an official advisor, especially with DC and Harry Potter and things like that, because Alan Horn was at WB. He was a CFO. He was the one who greenlit Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, etc. When WB were a great studio, they haven't been a great studio for a very long time. In comes Zaslav, making the right decisions, taking advice. And when you are humble enough to take advice in life, you will do better than the people who think, oh, I don't need any help. You know, how many times do we hear that? How many times today do we say, a woman doesn't need anyone to rescue them, right? And I always put those people right. Whether you're a man or a woman, you always need someone to save you, to help you, to be there, to be a shoulder to cry on or to lean on. And David Zaslav has understood this. And so James Gunn including Peter Safran, but James Gunn especially, is perfect in, creating this Bible. Basically, they're building this up from the ground up, as Feige did with the MCU, having individual movies, slowly building out this universe, TV shows, animation, and games. This is how you do it. It's about patience, craft, and imagination. This has been Movies TV Mad. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this beautiful perfection. And I'll see you in the next video. Until we see each other again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen.